Well, I guess like the saying goes, what comes up must come down. And that seems to be the case with gold and silver today after both kind of got routed Friday of last week. Um, Both are down quite a bit. Gold's well back under $5,000 an ounce. Last I checked, it was around 4,700 or so an ounce. Silver well below its highs as of right now anyway, around $80 an ounce or so, 79.80. And will these numbers continue to drop, or will they hold, or will they reverse? I'm not sure. But I think this is just a classic case, right, of just how much hype can drive FOMO, right? And essentially just get people to pile into something, even when, say, indicators could be flashing red, right? In part because nobody knows where that top is usually, especially when numbers hit like they have, right? Which have both been numbers that have never been done before on both of those metals. And so it definitely makes you wonder, right? When you have those kind of runs, that your time's probably better spent, assuming you're invested in that stock, right? Like your time is better spent trying to focus on, drawing down your position a bit, right? Rather than trying to see just how much higher it can go, which is like really difficult to do. And I ran into the situation once with BYND where, the stock just took off out of nowhere. And I just bought a few shares at the time because I wanted to follow the company and see how their turnaround plan would go. And this is beyond me, by the way. And so anyway, I must have caught it like right before the hysteria set in, because like a day later, like the value of the stock just started exploding for no reason at all. And so, when you watch these numbers go up, right, it's crazy what it does to like your mind, because what was like a few bucks now all of a sudden became like a few $100, right? And you're like, oh shit, this could be like a life-changing bag, And so you just start like refreshing every 15 minutes or so, just seeing how much it'll keep going up and up and up, right? And it did for a couple of days, and something in my gut just told me, hey man, if this stuff came out of nowhere this quickly, then it can also just end as quickly as well. And so I started taking out profits. I took out enough to cover what I put in. I let the rest kind of run. And then as it got higher, I just started taking out a little bit more at a time because I wanted to start securing those gains. And I'll be honest, man, it got harder and harder to click that dang sell button because that green line just kept going crazy, And every time it went up, it turned into, a little bit more money. And this is nothing crazy, by the way. But, for what I put in, I was like, well, okay, well, hey, shit, if this keeps going up, I might make something here. But anyway, so I decided to start, closing down my position. And then literally the following day is when the stock started to tank. And at the time I was fine because, I kind of got in at the beginning of the wave, but when it started to tank pretty dang hard. And so I started to lose a lot of those gains because I just wanted to ride the wave as much as I could. But it just goes to show you, man, like that's how quickly this stuff can mess with you. And so looking at how, gold and silver behaved, I can tell that a lot of people got in late and a lot of people probably lost money too. And the ones who probably made the big money were those who actually were in for the long haul, and didn't touch their investments really at all because they've been buying up this stuff for forever, right? So this is just another bump in the road for them. And others probably got out with a nice hefty bag, right? Because of all the liquidity that was coming in, they just went ahead and sold and ran off with the profits. And so, yeah, I think it's a good lesson in just doing what you can to be aware in this game, especially when you get involved in runs like that, because they can come and go just as easily. And, by the time you jump into something out of a need to chase something, chances are you're too late to that thing. At least that's what history seems to show, right? So, yeah, I'm curious to see where things go from here. I've heard there's obviously other stuff that could be involved in the prices dropping, like they have been, like margin requirements being increased, on paper silver and such. But yeah, curious to see how this week pans out for metals. But aside from that, yeah, be careful with those runs. They can suck you in. All right, peace.